with Amir in just a moment, but have a listen to this. In fact, following the news that the former unified light welterweight champion of the world, Amir Khan, was handed a 2-year ban from boxing after testing positive for an illegal substance following his defeat to Kell Brook in February last year, Kell Brook spoke to IFL TV and said it was disgraceful.
At the end of the day, it was in you, and you were going in that fight with a drug to enhance you on hurting me in the sport you can legally get killed in. He's gone in there. I've got 3 beautiful kids. He's gone in there to try and hurt me on some kind of drug what he's been on, and it's a joke.
I mean, how do you feel when you hear that?
Yeah, I think it would be nice to maybe give Kell a call as well to say, look, it was nothing like that, And secondly, like the amount that was in my system, honestly, there was no benefit. It wasn't going to make me any stronger or any better in any way. I mean, and that's from UCAD as well. They've announced and said that on the system, that it was never going to help me in any way.
But are you surprised then when you hear Kell's outburst and his comments? Are you surprised then that he's rumoured to want to fight with Conor Benn, who of course is in a similar position to you?
Yeah, I'm not surprised that he's upset about what happened. But
is it hypocritical of Kell Brook?
Well, yeah, maybe. Look, he's still happy to fight against Benn. So I mean, look, end of the day, it's a business, isn't it? End of the day, look, he's gonna try to put me down, and like I said, when a man's down, you just beating on a man that's down. At the moment, like I said, I was the one, yes, that was caught out, and I was the one that was tested positive. But look, it is what it is. I'm taking it on the chin. I could hide away. Like I said, I've just come here to prove my innocence. Look, I don't know how we got into the system.
Can you understand his frustration though? Because the same thing happened to you in, I think, 2011 with Lamont Peterson, where he tested positive for PEDs.
It's different. Look, he won the fight. Honestly, so I don't think it's gonna. If I won the fight and he was still positive, I wouldn't really care. To be honest with you, I'd be like, whatever. So end of the day, when he's won the fight, so really he should think he shouldn't really be that upset, really.
What would you have done if you would have found out these results before the fight?
I mean, I don't know, because we did a lot of tests before the fight and all that. Well, UCAD did, and USA anti-doping and all that, and I was always clean. But then it was just that, obviously, on the week of the fight, which I wasn't told what the test was, because obviously they tested it after, a couple of days after. The fight's over now, and then 6 to 9 months later, I find out that was a positive batch. I mean, what would I have done?
Fault?
Sorry? I mean, I don't think they would have let me. If I came out and it was positive, or any fighter that's positive should not really be allowed to fight. So I put my hand up there. I would have fought.
But if it was down to you, because a similar thing happened with Conor Benn and Chris Eubank Jr.
Yeah, but you have to understand, like, the amount that was in my system really doesn't make it. It was not going to make a difference.
So would you have fought?
So I probably would have fought, because in hindsight, if you look at it, I had literally, there's no benefit, because UK anti-doping have also said it wasn't going to benefit Amir in any way. It was going to make him any stronger. It would have been still a fair fight.
Is this the first time you've ever been tested positive in your career?
Yeah, so it's the first time I've been tested positive, and must have had about millions of tests. I mean, I'm the one who kind of brought boxing, a test back in boxing in a way, since that issue happened with me in 2013 against Lamont Peterson. Since then, every fight I've had, I've always asked for, and I'm the one who put in the contract as well. I said I want the testing in the contract. I want to make the sport a clean sport. Yeah.
Listen, you've done a lot for British boxing, but do you think now the British public will look at you differently?
I hope not. You know what I mean? And that's why I wanted to come out today and talk. I hope not, because at the end of the day, I always want to be that people's champion, someone who fought, so hard and won world titles for Great Britain. And that'll be the last thing, and that'll hurt me, and upset me. But like I said, and I come on today because I wanted to prove my innocence, and I wanted to give the opportunity for you guys to ask me these questions and the questions that public want to hear.
So let me ask you. Yeah. Let me ask you then, because you have a great legacy in not just British boxing but in world boxing. But at the moment, as things currently stand, the headline is Amir Khan drugs cheat.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's where I want to come in and fix this. You know what I mean? By saying that, look, guys, I've never been a cheater. I'm not a cheater. And at the same time, you could just see if you work it out. I post a picture on my Instagram a couple of months ago when I was in good shape and probably at the peak of my career, when I was about 25, 26. Yeah. Now, if you look at my body that when I was 26, 27, and compare it to my body shape on the weigh-in for the Brook fight, for example, there's a massive difference. The muscles are not the same. I'm kind of just I'm a bit deflated. I'm not as looking as sharp and or as strong. But whereas if it was the opposite and I looked like I was muscular and looked like I was 26 again, 27 again, then yeah, maybe there'd be questions raised. But like I said, it's the smallest I've ever been, the thinnest I've ever been. So really, there was nothing that shows that I was on something.
No, but from your perspective, the headline is drugs cheat. And at the top of our interview, you acknowledged the fact that you did have this drug in your blood.
So it was in the blood, 100%. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here speaking to you guys.
So what are your next steps now? Not just to prove your innocence, because if it was in your blood, that's going to be quite difficult to do because you're admitting it's in there.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? What are your next steps now to find out how it got in there?
Yeah.
If you're suggesting you didn't knowingly take it.
Yeah. So what we've done with all the supplements I was taking, you see, if it was told to me before, because I don't knew about this
before the fight.
No, around when it first happened, when I first got told, I was when.
So April last year is when they said they told you.
Nah, no one told me because I could have gone then back because the fight was in April last year.
Fight was Feb.
So 2 years. So,
yeah.
So it was still a year after though.
No, it was the same year. So Feb last year was when the fight was.
Feb last year.
April the 6th, a year ago today, is when UCAD have come out and said they told you.
No, I didn't tell me in
failed.
April because if they had told me straight away, if they had told me in April, I could have gone back and seen what I've taken in that time. You see, it's been over a year now, so I'm thinking, what did I take? What supplements? So I'm trying to get all the supplements together.
If UCAD didn't tell you in April, which is what you're saying,
yeah,
and they're saying they did, when did they tell you for the first time? I
got notification from it like around about 7-8 months after.
After the fight?
Yeah.
So you're talking September, October time?
Yeah, that's when I kind of got to know about it.
Okay. Why do you think they've come out and said they told you in April?
I don't know. I mean... And it's funny that why is it come out so late after that? Come out a year later to the public.
But why do you think that they've come out publicly?
I can't
and
talk
said
for
they
them.
told you in April.
I honestly don't know. I can't talk for them. You know what I mean? You need to ask them the question. I honestly don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
Like,
have you not spoke to them and asked them why they've said they've
my lawyer's speaking to them. Yeah, so he's gonna ask those questions. Yeah, so I left it to them really. Yeah.
Are you prepared to do anything to clear your name?
Yeah, 100%, man.
And the only reason I asked that question is because with Conor Benn, he claims that he's got a document, I think a 270 page Word document that he won't show anybody. He won't release it to the public. So to clear his name.
Is it?
That's what he claims. So are you prepared to do anything you can to clear your name?
Yeah, 100%. But I've not got a document that's more than...
No, but for him, he had this document, but even to clear his name,
but
he
work out
what
the amount he had in his system was a lot more than what I had in my system. You know, I like Conor. I think he's a brilliant fighter, but the amount that I had what Conor had in his system was going to give him that performance and was going to make him stronger, was going to make him, bigger, and it was going to help him in the fight. The amount that I had in my body was not going to ever help me. It was never going to help me. I mean, it was like I said, it was like a grain of salt in an Olympic-sized swimming pool. It was not going to help me, and you could even state that Amir, it was never gonna make me fight better or make me stronger or make me quicker. We don't know how it's in the system, but it's in the system. No, it's wrong, but there was no benefit of me having that.
Let me. I'm playing devil's advocate here, right? Okay, so the way we can look at it is you had the fight in February.
Yep.
Okay. UCAD came out and said to you that you'd failed this drug test in April, and then the next month, you, Amir Khan, have come out and decided to retire from the sport.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, playing devil's advocate, I could look at these dates.
People can start thinking, wait a minute.
Okay, well, you've obviously retired because you've got this negative test.
Yeah,
but are you saying now today
I didn't know about it,
that when you decided to retire from the sport, you had no knowledge whatsoever you'd failed a drugs test?
100%. And even when I did announce retirement as a fighter publicly, it was I knew nothing about it. And also, I kind of made my mind up straight after the fight. It was like, I am done from the sport. I can't fight no more because I just don't have that fire in the belly no more. So yeah, 100%.
So do you think they're making an example of you or
they're trying to make an example of me? But look, that's why I want to come out and speak to everyone and say, look, this is how it is. I'm not being a cheat, but I am happy in a way that they're doing these amazing tests and they're catching people out because they need to keep the sport clean. Because if you think about it, boxing is being hit quite hard. Conor was hit. Now,
do you have sympathy for Conor Benn?
Sorry?
Do you have sympathy for Conor Benn?
Yeah, I like Conor Benn. You know, he's a great fighter, and I think he's at that level where he was now going to go for the world titles out there. I do feel for him because at the end of the day, all we know is boxing.
Do you think he's guilty?
No, I don't think he is. I don't know how I don't know much about his case, but I don't think he doesn't look like the person that would cheat or take something. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Do you think a lot of it goes on in your sport that we don't know about?
I think mainly more in America probably than here. I mean, here we have great testing facilities, and also we have regular testing from the UK and also the boxing board, boxing and more on it. Whereas in America, you know, no one really gets tested there.
Listen, thank you for coming in, Amir. Just to sort of round things up, right? So as it currently stands, and this sounds horrible saying it, but I'm just being honest with you. As it currently stands, the world of boxing, the world of sport, knows Amir Khan as a drugs cheat. Yeah. So what are you and your team going to do from this day onwards to try and clear your name? Yeah,
so I've told my team they have to go back and see every supplement I took, and also like even every protein, every supplement and everything. So we're going to have to see that. Also speak to all the coaches. Was there anything added in my nutrition, my dietitian? I'm speaking to them. So I'm literally speaking to everyone. I got my wife back in Dubai now, and she's literally speaking to everyone every day. All my nutritionists and dietitians and everyone saying that what could have gone wrong? How did that get into the system? Because all I was doing, I was eating the food that my nutritionist and dietitian was giving me. I wasn't eating nothing else. Maybe, and she's then, obviously, because I got my wife onto all this for me, she's then asking, did you ever share a drink with someone? Did you ever take something off someone, like a sweet or something? It could have been from anywhere. Like I said, you know, when I was notified by it, if it was done straight after the fight, then I would have maybe thought quicker. But because it was after so long, it's hard for me to think back.
Okay, but to the best of your knowledge, you have never taken Ostarine or any banned substance?
Never, any banned substance. I didn't know, to be honest with you, I didn't know what Ostarine was till what type of drug it was. But look, I've never ever taken drug. I never will. I've always been the fighter that's always gone out there and said, I want to do the drug testing. I want the drug testing in for my fights. Even I didn't need to have them in there. And for this fight against Kell Brook, where I was caught taking this product and it was in my system, I was the one who put it in the contract that I want the drug testing to be in for this fight. So come on, guys. I mean, that's something I would never do, and I'll never ever.
You acknowledge it was in your system.
Yes, I acknowledge that.
You're going to fight.
Exactly, I'm going to fight it, man. Okay. Yeah, 100%. I'm going to fight my innocence.
I should point out as well that, of course, Conor Benn is also claiming that he was clean as well, and he's fighting his case as well. So we'll have to watch both of these and see. Get on. Listen, thank you so much for coming in.
Appreciate it, man.
We appreciate your time here at talkSPORT. It's very kind of you.
talkSPORT Drive with Andy Goldstein. Monday to Friday afternoon from 4 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.